A picturesque small town. A seemingly perfect family. But beneath the surface lies an affair so twisted and forbidden it spiraled into a shocking act of murder. How far would someone go to keep their darkest secret hidden? This is the chilling story of betrayal, obsession, and the ultimate price of deceit. Buckle up, because this tale will leave you questioning everything you think you know about trust, loyalty, and love. Small towns are supposed to be safe. Quiet. A haven for families and neighbors to live side by side in harmony. Maple Ridge was one such town, a picturesque community where children played in the streets, families gathered for barbecues, and secrets seemed impossible to keep. But in the sleepy little town of Maple Ridge, the truth was often stranger, and darker, than fiction. Behind the walls of a quaint suburban home lived a family whose life seemed picture-perfect. A devoted husband, a loving wife, a bright-eyed child. But appearances can be deceiving. It was here that a secret affair was born, not between strangers, nor co-workers, but between a young wife and her own father-in-law. Yes, you heard that right. What began as innocent family gatherings turned into something much more sinister, a tangled web of seduction, lies, and, eventually, bloodshed. But before we dive into the murder, let's go back to where it all began. At the center of this story is Emily Carter, a 27-year-old woman with a magnetic personality. Bright, ambitious, and beautiful, Emily had always dreamed of the perfect life. And to those around her, it seemed like she had achieved it. Her marriage to Ryan Carter was the envy of many in Maple Ridge. High school sweethearts turned spouses, their relationship was nothing short of a modern fairy tale. Ryan, with his sharp features and steady career in finance, was the breadwinner. Emily stayed home to care for their 2-year-old daughter, Sophie. From the outside looking in, the Carters had it all, a beautiful home, a loving marriage, and a future full of promise. But behind closed doors, cracks were beginning to form. Ryan was a workaholic. Late nights at the office and endless conference calls became the norm. While he believed he was providing the best life for his family, Emily began to feel neglected. The emotional distance between them grew wider with every passing day. Arguments became frequent. Small disagreements over finances or parenting turned into full-blown shouting matches. Ryan, though not abusive, had a tendency to shut down during conflict, leaving Emily alone to stew in her frustration. And loneliness, as they say, can be dangerous. Gregory was Ryan's father, a retired businessman in his mid-50s. A charismatic man with salt and pepper hair, Gregory was the kind of person who could light up a room with his charm. He was wealthy, confident, and carried himself with an air of authority that commanded attention. Emily had always admired Gregory. He was, after all, the man who had raised Ryan to be the hardworking husband she fell in love with. But admiration soon turned into something much darker. It started innocently enough. Family dinners, casual conversations, and the occasional compliment. Gregory noticed Emily's loneliness. He saw how her smile didn't quite reach her eyes anymore. He listened when Ryan didn't. The turning point came one evening after a family gathering. As Emily cleaned up in the kitchen, Gregory offered to help. Their hands brushed as they reached for the same plate, and for a moment, the world seemed to stop. What should have been a fleeting moment of awkwardness became the spark that ignited their affair. Soon, their interactions grew more frequent. Stolen glances across the dinner table turned into late-night text messages. At first, they kept their conversations light, harmless banter. But as the weeks turned into months, their exchanges became increasingly flirtatious. Emily was drawn to Gregory's attention. He made her feel seen, desired, and understood in a way Ryan hadn't in years. And Gregory? He enjoyed the thrill of it all, the forbidden nature of their relationship, the power he felt in seducing someone so young. October 14th. A night Maple Ridge would never forget. The 911 call came in at 9:37 p.m. Emily's voice was frantic. "My husband is dead," she cried. "Someone broke in and killed him." Police arrived to find Ryan's lifeless body in the living room, a single stab wound to the chest. Blood pooled around him, staining the cream-colored carpet. Emily claimed she had been upstairs putting Sophie to bed when she heard a commotion. By the time she came downstairs, it was too late. But investigators immediately noticed inconsistencies in her story. For one, there were no signs of forced entry. The windows were intact, the doors locked, and nothing had been stolen. And then there was Emily herself. Though she cried during questioning, officers noted that her tears seemed forced, almost performative. As detectives dug deeper, they uncovered the truth. A search of Emily's phone revealed hundreds of messages between her and Gregory, messages that outlined a sinister plan. Emily had convinced Gregory that Ryan was a danger to her and Sophie. She painted him as controlling, even abusive, though there was no evidence to support these claims. Blinded by his obsession, Gregory agreed to help her. Together, they plotted Ryan's murder, believing they could stage it as a burglary gone wrong. But their plan fell apart almost immediately. Under interrogation, Gregory cracked. He confessed to the affair and revealed how Emily had manipulated him into committing the crime. Emily, of course, denied everything. She claimed Gregory acted alone, driven by jealousy and lust. But the evidence was damning. The trial was a media sensation. The once beloved Carter family became the center of national headlines. Neighbors who had once admired Emily now whispered about her betrayal. In the end, both Emily and Gregory were found guilty. Gregory received a life sentence for first-degree murder, while Emily was sentenced to 25 years for conspiracy and manslaughter. Ryan's parents were left devastated, not only by the loss of their son but by the betrayal of their own flesh and blood. The town of Maple Ridge would never be the same. Why did Emily risk everything? Was it love? Lust? Or simply greed disguised as passion? In the end, we may never fully understand what drove her and Gregory to commit such a heinous act. But one thing is certain, their forbidden affair left a trail of destruction that no amount of time can ever erase. Thank you for joining us on this journey into betrayal and murder. If you found this story as chilling as we did, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more true crime stories that uncover the darkest corners of the human soul. Until next time, stay safe, and stay curious.